Change of pace.
Welcome to the Change of Pace podcast. I'm joined today by Sai and Sahil. And today we're going to be taking you through our predictions for the second round of the NBA playoffs. We know we're a couple days late to this, but bear with us. We're really excited. Each of these series have had one game, except for the Cavs Pacers series, which today just completed game two. A lot to unpack there. We're going to start off with the most recent series. They just had its game one, Warriors versus Timberwolves. And the Warriors just had a very, very impressive 99 to 88 win against the Timberwolves today, missing Steph Curry after he only played 13 minutes, getting a left hamstring spring early in the second quarter. I have a lot to say here, but how about you guys get us started and then yeah, I'll just continue afterward.
I'll say the first thing that popped into my mind when I was watching this game was the fact like how different the Warriors looked than the Lakers, right? They were making Minnesota overthink literally everything.
Mhm.
You could kind of feel like even Anthony Edwards started over 10. You could even feel like he was just like, oh shit, this is a real defense we have to play. Like these guys are actually it's not just, oh, let's go like hunt for our matchup. Okay, I have Luca, I have Reeves on me. Okay, no, I can stroll down to the rim, kick it out, or finish at the rim. Now it's like they're making you think, and it's like, wow, this looks very different.
Yeah. Ty?
Yeah, I'll say like I thought this was more of a disappointing Minnesota performance than it was an impress. I mean, as impressive as it is for the Warriors to win without Steph playing what three-quarters of the game basically. Minnesota just did not look like the offensive team that they were showing towards the second half of this regular season. Like even in the playoffs against the Lakers, they weren't really that high, like much of a high octane offense. They're relying on their defense to kind of shut down the Lakers and then just scraping by enough for these points. Other than game one, they really haven't shot well from three in this like playoffs. And Anthony Edwards, abysmal. I thought, especially at the rim, like he was able to get downhill. I thought at least more than a couple times.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't finish over Draymond. Like over, they're collapsing really well on him. They started what 0 for 16 from three before Naz Reid finally hit their first one.
Disappointing.
Um, they started to get it together in the second half when Steph Curry's not playing. You can lock you they force like three 24-second clock violations on the Warriors because they have no source of offense outside of Steph. But Buddy Hield hit enough threes, Jimmy Butler made enough plays, and the Wolves really just cost themselves this game by not. I mean, I thought it was really just down to Ant being so disappointing in that first half, kind of costing
Yeah.
the game.
I think first off, they said on the broadcast, Ant's first jump shot came in the fourth quarter. Every single shot before that was on a drive, and I think it's because they definitely talked about this before. This isn't like an unintentional thing. They probably thought that he could get downhill on this team, which he could, but I just
hmm
don't think he realized like our rim protection is more than just Draymond Green. Like we have guys very capable of collapsing, including Jimmy Butler. But yeah, Draymond was like phenomenal as a defender in this game at the rim, but also offensively. Like he had four threes in the first quarter, and that with or not first quarter, but the first half. And like that with the Steph kind of avalanche, especially to open the second quarter, really helped us get out to that like early 20-point lead. I also thought, yeah, Buddy came up huge in the second half. He had like I think like 14 or so points in the third quarter by himself. And I think just they couldn't really get anything going offensively. They were missing a lot of shots, but also they looked very like just uncomfortable against the Warriors, which I really enjoyed seeing. Like like, these guys were just flying all over the place defensively. The Warriors were. It was awesome. Like Buddy Hield of all people was like hustling the way he did in Game Seven. So yeah, the shooters and go. Dante DiVincenzo 3 of 11, Nikhil 0 of 3. Naz Reid just like continues to destroy the Warriors. Like he was their one shot at coming back in this game, but we got timely stops and timely buckets from like Gary Payton in the fourth quarter, Buddy Hield, obviously. And then I thought Pods played a very good defensive game as well. So yeah, I this is definitely the worst the Timberwolves have looked in the playoffs so far. I don't expect this to continue, but when like Mike, McCall, and like Dante combine for what is it like 3 of 22 from the field, like you're not going to win that game. So
On the Warriors offense side, well, first of all, Draymond, if you know me, I've been begging for Draymond to do this for so long because I have so much belief in his offensive capabilities. Like we've seen it in like the play in Game 7 of the NBA
yeah,
Finals. he can do this. Like he can shoot. He can get those little floaters to go. He made a couple today too. Like he is very much capable of this. He just chooses not to do it.
Mhm.
I also think this series is gonna require Minnesota to have to defend with their brain in a sense of like they're gonna have to actually think out the game because the Warriors motion offense makes it so much harder for you than the Lakers pound ISO basketball does. So for Minnesota, like the Warriors have like this action, then they might switch around, run different action, and you can't just sit there and like uh, Anthony Edwards is already a questionable off ball defender. That's not gonna work in this series.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with Julius Randle, also questionable off ball. Like that's just not going to work. It's not like the Lakers where you can go guard somebody in the corner and they probably won't move the whole possession. And then yeah, like you said, Draymond at the rim. Oh my God, there were so many times in this game where it just felt like Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle or whoever was just like jumping. It almost felt like what Jalen Green was doing, but I felt like I saw it like every possession in this game where they're just like jumping in, and Draymond is like, stop challenging Draymond. All right, what are we doing here? Like you cannot go up into Draymond anymore. Like I don't care how old he is, he is still like one of the best rim defenders I've ever seen. And I was just so and too much Dante. Did you guys feel like that too? I just felt like.
That tends to be how it is for the Timberwolves, though. Like there is a lot of Dante in their offense, I feel like.
I just checked just now and I saw he had 4 turnovers, which I was like, that sounds right. 3 for 11, 4 turnovers. Like, just too many times I looked up and I was just like, what? Why is he chucking that? He missed some open ones, but
He took that really deep three out of nowhere. I think that was a desperation heave in the fourth. Like they were down 14 with like maybe a few minutes left, and it was like deep, like 35 footer
he,
probably. I
he
was
took
like, what?
another one. He took another one in the second because he like it was like at least 28 to 30 feet deep. He like crossed someone over, so he felt like he
Yeah,
take it. But it's like, yo, like you don't. It's the playoffs. You can't do that.
yeah, yeah. I also want to give a special shout out to Jonathan Kuminga. Terrible first half, but I thought in the fourth quarter, or like I think it was maybe end of the third, early fourth, he had a decent stretch. He got a dunk. He got fouled when we really like desperately needed points, right? We were going on quite a long stretch, especially when Naz Reid started to get going. It was down to like 12 or so. Kuminga got fouled, I think he hit at least one, maybe two. No, he hit both. Yeah, he hit both free throws, and then he had that big three.
Yeah, that
Because
one was
I don't
big.
know if you guys remember, yeah, you remember, right? We were kind of going back and forth between being up 12 and up 9. And just psychologically, when you go into single digits after being up 23 at one point in the game, it's like they're coming. Thankfully, the Timberwolves really never cut it past 9, I think. I think they stayed down 9 because it was Gary Payton's big three and then Kuminga's big corner three as well, to kind of make up for Ant's two, like, and one, this and one and the three. I don't think they went down after like went down 23. I don't think they cut the lead to less than 9 at any point.
No,
You guys can fact check me, but it was definitely around there at worst. Like,
Buddy
so
Yeah,
Hield
I
was
don't think they did.
Buddy
yeah.
Hield was a plus 22, led the game. He just like when a shooter. When you can tell a shooter like, okay, you only have to go like 8 for 20 and that's okay. Like to them, that's music to their ears because now every shot matters less. Like for Buddy Hield, he's used to getting maybe what 6 shots, 7 shots a game. It's like, damn
Yeah.
it, buddy, you better make 4 of those. But you're
Yeah.
now like, okay, you know what, buddy, go take 18 and just make 6 of them, and
He
we'll be.
started off 0 of 8. Like he started off
Yeah.
as 0 of 7 or something. And then after he hit one, he had another one, and that kind of ballooned the lead to 20. And from then on, he never looked back, right? It's the playoffs, dude. Let your guys like you gotta just like empty the clip, as they say. Especially without Steph on the court. Like he was really like it was literally, I don't you guys saw it, right? Looney was at the top of the key, just basically setting screens for Buddy, handoff. If he didn't get anything off it, another screen for Buddy, handoff, just hoping to get something out of it because he was really our only shooter on the court in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, GP2, Kuminga, Jimmy hit a crazy three. Like there were a lot of just
Totally.
random clutch moments from the Warriors that were just enough. Like I felt like every time there was a run, like you said, every time those single digits, Warriors hit like a big three to get it back to double digits, and it just never went from there. I'm kind of getting concerned about Minnesota shooting though. Over the last 2 games, they shot 12 for 76 from three, which is just like 15%.
Wait,
You
dude,
know,
how many missed threes is that? What is that, like 54?
no, it's
I know what you're
64.
gonna say.
64.
I know what you're
Dude,
gonna say.
can you believe the Celtics missed 45 in one
Yeah,
game?
insane. But
Yes.
somehow that's still better because they shot 25%. Minnesota shot 15%.
Yeah, they were at like
Um,
8% or like what was it? One of 17, I think they said. It was
yeah, I
like
mean, they started off 0 for 16 straight up.
Yeah.
which is
So
insane. I thought the only success they had was, Naz Reid. He's pretty like he's been insane for them in the fourth quarters, especially for the Minnesota. And I liked some of Julius Randle's drives. I thought he was getting something going downhill, especially against Draymond. Like was able to body him up. Ant was, starting to hit more of his shots, definitely in the fourth quarter, and enough to make it a game. But yeah, man, like if you start off finishing from at the rim that badly in the first half, like it's just hard to recover. And I thought, especially defensively against Buddy, I thought he got lost a lot of times giving him those open threes. Like it felt like every time they were able to hit a shot on one end, like Buddy Hield would get an open look. And even if that didn't happen, they would get an offensive rebound. Like I was surprised by the amount of offensive rebounds the Warriors were able to grab.
fourth quarter, that
The
was
fact that
crazy.
they won that battle 18 to 12. Like I just feel like with this small of a team, you're starting a 6'7" dude at center and you're giving up 18 offensive rebounds. Even though Looney was huge for that, it's still pretty disappointing.
Yeah, about the Randall point. Like you said, yeah, Randall had a couple nice buckets. I think he had like 4 points in a row. They cut the lead from like 23 to 19 at one point. That was when he bodied Draymond. And Draymond, I think, got his fifth foul like soon after. But the problem with Randall, like Kaminga, is like he's not gonna fuel your team's run.
Yeah.
He's not gonna unlock your offense for you. He's more one of those guys is if you're going through a cold stretch but you're up, he will be able to get to the line or he'll get a two to fall. And yeah, again, he's not the key to unlocking that offense for the Timberwolves or the shooting. And then defensively, like you said, Sahel, he was good against LeBron and Luca because he doesn't really have to move around a lot off ball. Like he's just a big body to have near the paint to apply some pressure, like I like pushing them back. But he can't do that against the Warriors. Like these guys, again, flying all over the court. So it's very and Randall is definitely not like the leanest of guys. He's not fat, but like he's not known for his conditioning. So it's clear it's very difficult for him to, especially when you have like a 5 out offense. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Do you,
mean, I think the elephant in the room we got to talk about though is Steph going out with that hamstring injury. How severe do you guys think it is? Obviously, we don't have any reporting on the severity. We don't know his availability for game two, but I mean, considering he was immediately ruled out, I think it's a little concerning. Like they didn't even treat him as questionable. Um, Again, maybe it was just a precaution. Like we're up 20 at this point. Maybe just see if we can sustain like our lead enough, and then hope give him enough rest for so he'd be good for game two. What do you guys think?
So I saw on Twitter that grade one is the hamstring strain is 3 to 6 days, I think, and grade two is 7 to 10. So he could be out one game, 2 game, maybe 3 games. Um, there's one thing I want to say about the Warriors though, playing in game two, because I think it's a lot easier when your star is out and then you there's all the pressure's kind of off, right? Like for Buddy Hill, the pressure's off, go take a bunch of shots, make some. Okay, he goes and makes some, right? I think when you're getting game plan for, it's a lot harder to do. So if they know Steph's not gonna play, changes everything, makes it a lot obviously a lot easier to guard. So I don't think that there's gonna be, but again, there is that level of like we saw with the Cavs today too, like even with injuries, it almost feels like when there are injuries, a team's players are it's easier for them to step up. So there is still like it's not a done deal that the Warriors are going to lose game two, and they're playing with house money. Like it's okay, it's completely okay to lose that game. You're expected to lose that game. They're going to be a heavy underdog. Like for a basketball player, that's the easiest way to play because there's no expectations. That's why like it's hard for some teams to make the next step in the playoffs is because they oh shit, there's expectations now. Oh, I have to do this now. Okay, it's a little different. So I do think the Warriors can actually I wouldn't bet on them, but they can sneak game two and still the series. But it's obviously a lot harder to do.
yeah, what's that record for a biggest deficit in a playoff game again? Was it like 59 or something? Because the
Yeah.
way I see it, like you said, the Warriors have two reasons to give this game away. First of all, you already got one in Minnesota. You got like the hardest game of your season so far after a game seven against Houston versus a fully rested Minnesota team. In Minnesota, with Steph only playing 13 minutes of the game and having like a very like very largely throughout the game. So yeah, this game is ours to lose. I think, like you said, Timberwolves are going to come out way stronger. They know Steph is not going to be there. So I don't expect us to win the game. But about Steph, I saw Anthony Slater and a lot of other insiders who are like at the Warriors game did say Steph came back with a very, very bad limp.
Oh
With it.
shoot. Okay.
Yeah. He came out with a very I forget the word they used, but they pronounced, yeah. He came out with
Pronounced.
a pronounced limp. So that is not a good sign. Um, about him being out the whole game, I don't think you could read too much into that because again, they were up 20 and also he just played a game 7 against the Rockets. So I think regardless of the severity, they would probably have kept him
I
out
just
game.
like you can keep him out, but like usually you list him as questionable. I feel like in most of
Yeah,
these
I don't,
cases, just in case you want to bring him back, you're down.
yeah,
I don't know. Minnesota comes back. There's a 5 point game. You want to introduce Steph as at least as a decoy, but
yeah.
like the fact that he goes out, I just thought was a little concerning. And then with the pronounced limp,
The pronounced limp is huge.
like
Yeah.
if this is grade two, like that could be like that could be 3 games, like
Yeah.
as bad. That's which is horrible for the
One good
Warriors.
thing is he did tell Draymond when he got hurt that he's fine. Like he said, like I'm fine, but then he rushed to the locker room. Like he immediately asked him to get out of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of that because he just had his what is his knee injury? Or no, sorry, it was tailbone injury. He just had an injury, right? And when it happened, I remember him telling, like him literally saying, "I'm fine, like I'm good to go." I don't think it was the tailbone injury. I think he got an injury after that. Might have been his knee or his thumb or something. Something bad happened, and he said he would be fine, and then he literally came back like next game or 2 games from that. So at this point, I don't. I think we should just wait and see what happens. So he said he won't talk to reporters until after the MRI results come out. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll see
see.
tomorrow.
Definitely kind of nervous if because if they win a game 3 or suppose we lose game 2, if they win 3 or 4, it's back in their favor, right? And
Yep.
that's going to be coming up for a super crucial game 5, his first game back, going 2-2 in Minnesota. So not ideal.
And the hamstring injury is so tough, like as a basketball player, like
Very dangerous.
that's how you get your first step, like you're powering through your hamstring.
And he
Um,
was looking so good. Yeah, we should talk about that. He looked so much more comfortable against this Minnesota defense than he did against the Rockets. He came out shooting. He had like 6 shot attempts in the first quarter, dude. He didn't get that. I saw a Rockets fan tweet out the most points Steph had in the first quarter was 5 against the Rockets. And then he had 8 in the first, and then immediately a deep three against Nikhil. And then he had that like little floater. It was so easy for him. And then he immediately gets hurt. It was so annoying.
like
I thought he was having a good game.
it's like finally being able to breathe when you haven't had the chance to for so long.
Yeah.
Like he just looks so much comfort, and this is such a good matchup for him is the problem. Like I feel like he can get really anything he wants with
Very true.
running at Randall or running at Gobert. Like he has two options of players he can go at.
Yeah.
He can get that anywhere, and it's just like it's just so sad that he got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. So do
Yeah.
you decide you want to change your prediction for the series after game 1? Thing was
I
what?
mean, it's interesting because before the series, I said Warriors and, or sorry, not Warriors, Timberwolves in five, which my rationale was the size would create problems for the Warriors, and I felt like they had the perimeter personnel to at least keep up with Steph and Jimmy, while also their offenses looked great this second half of the regular season, and they have the depth that the Warriors does not have offensively. I mean, looking at this game, they've struggled shooting from three. They were a great regular season shooting team. That hasn't really translated to the playoffs as much, other than that game 1 against the Lakers. So I'm a little more concerned about this offense. I need to see some more from Ant, but at the same time with the Steph, I'm gonna definitely switch it up though. I still think the Timberwolves should be favored in this. I'm gonna go Wolves in 7 though, because I think I need to give the Warriors a little more respect and I mean, I learned recently, but I mean, the Warriors with Steph Curry have never lost a game or series in less than 6 games. So I feel like picking them in five was a little premature. So 6 or 7 is probably if the Wolves win it, it's probably with that in that situation, and they have home court, so I'm gonna go 7.
So how about you?
I had Warriors in 6.
I
That's
don't think
when
we ever gave our predictions. We never had a like this is the that podcast. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're giving our second round predictions now. Yo, what is
I
your prediction now?
I had Warriors in 6. My heart was telling me, my brain was telling me Wolves in 6, but if you had put a gun in my head, I would have said Warriors in 6, and I still feel pretty good about that. I think they'll lose game 2. Uh, I think they can kind of steal both at home if Steph's okay game 3, and I think from what I've seen, I feel like he'll be good to go in game 3.
Okay. Yeah, I had Warriors in 6. I think I had Warriors. Like my heart, yeah, I really did have Warriors in 6. I'll probably stay with Warriors in 6 just for the heck of it. Yeah, one thing, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards played phenomenal defense on Jimmy Butler today. He couldn't get shit going. Like every time he drove, he was cut off. Ant is strong and he's super long. He could not get any shot to go. So yeah, shout out to him. Hopefully that doesn't continue. But we've seen this team without Steph, with Jimmy at the helm. Like he puts up like 30 pretty easily. I'm hoping that'll happen on Thursday. But yeah, just shout out to Edwards at least for good defense this game. Let's move on.
Yep.
So I'll take it away, my friend.
The problem is I'm sick. I was sick to my stomach watching this Cavs Pacers game, and I was
Yeah.
also physically a little sick too. It's
Oh, yeah.
just a tough day. I'm a Barca fan too, and they lost. Whatever.
Oh, dude, Samir was dying. Oh my God, he was so depressed today. I,
Yeah, it's wow. I don't even know where it's these kind of losses. It's honestly one of the most crushed I've felt as a Cavs fan in general, just because the only ones that kind of compare in my Cavs fandom is 2018 J.R. Smith and 2017 game three when Korver missed like a wide open corner three. Would
yeah,
would have made it a 5 point game. KD
if
comes
he hit
down,
the three.
hits the three, right? So those are the two that I can really think of. And in neither of those did I think that they were gonna win anyway. So it was like, okay, well, the little hope we had is gone. But in this one, and it kind of felt it hurts me so much because it kind of felt like Donovan Mitchell was back in Utah, where he just does everything, and you can't possibly blame him. And then somehow he just can't win the game. Um, and yeah, he was so good too. You could see how gassed Donovan and Jared Allen were towards the end of that game. Like there was some plays where Jared Allen was like literally like running with his hands like dropped as low as possible because he like could barely even raise him up. Um, there's I don't see a path to winning this series because I don't think you can win both in Indiana. I don't know what Garland, Hunter, or Mobley's status is. It's just I can't believe that they had a 64 season from heaven, and this is what it's come to. Like it's one of those losses that makes you think about like, man, why do sports even matter? Why do I care about this?
Thanks. At least
But
for
Yeah,
home.
I felt that last night, so I'm totally with you. Yeah, I think the thing in Indiana's done that this series that I've kind of been surprised by is the physicality. They've managed to really be bigger and stronger than this Cavs team, and obviously, like the Cavs, at least the first game had the double bigs. Like they have the size you assume to keep up the physicality, but I really didn't think they matched up well in that sense. Like Indiana was able to dictate the tempo for the first two games, I thought for the most part. Like as you said, Mitchell and Allen were gassed because Indiana's been running at their throats. I think for the first three quarters, that's what the Cavs have been able to control and build up this lead. Like it's been at their tempo, like much more of a half court game, like being able to pick them apart, get those open looks from three. And then that fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, I thought they were able to run out, like really create some havoc on the perimeter. And I guess you really felt it at like how tired these Cavs guys were. Um, Obviously, Hallie was sensational. Miles Turner was really good, attacking mismatches. I thought he was really impressive. Like, just because, you don't have Mobley anymore, there's really one big you can play. Like, literally, only Allen was the only center who played today. And anytime there's a mismatch on Turner, he was taking advantage. And then Aaron Nesmith also was like really good. Like, he's been a perfect role player for them and locked up Ty Jerome, who was awful. He had the series of his life against Miami and then kind of dropped the opposite way. Shot 1 for 14, was benched in like at the end of regulation. Like there was just it was really disappointing from the guys around Donovan Mitchell. Like he got his 48 points, getting to the rim whenever he wanted. Wasn't He hasn't shot well from three either games, but it hasn't mattered because every time he drives, he's faster and stronger than Nemhard, and he's able to get around them, and he's going to draw a foul on Turner or like I don't know, get a crazy dunk. He'll do whatever he needs to get downhill, but it just hasn't been enough, sadly. To lose two at home when you've had this legendary season is very disappointing for sure, but I still believe in the Cavs. Like I think they will put up a fight, and I think there's definitely the series isn't over. I'll say that. That's what I think for sure.
I think that one of the reasons that game hurts so much is it's one of those slow death games, right? Where your team goes up when they shouldn't really be up by that much, but they somehow find themselves up by 15, 17. And the whole game is just like you're just like trying to push back against this fence that's about to bust open, right? And it's just like the whole game, and then you're just like, okay, Donovan, make a couple of these free throws. He's gassed, he misses when he makes one of two. And you're slowly starting to feel it. That's what I mean, when Halliburton put up that shot, like I knew it was a bucket because it's just like that's the way he was going. The other reason I knew it was a bucket is I saw the stat after the game that he's 10 of 11 on shots to tie or take the lead in the last 2 minutes this year. So that motherfucker has just not been missing in the clutch. He really is that guy. I think we got to give props to him for sure. I mean, he even though he wasn't that good through 3 quarters, the moment that Indiana needed to fire stuff up to get an uptick in the offense, he was like, ah, okay, I got it. I know exactly what to do. It's almost like you could tell how smart of a player he was because he kind of figured the Cavs out towards the end. On Ty Jerome. Patrick Beverley said something on his podcast about like slow feed don't eat or something like that. About why he didn't think Ty Jerome was gonna be that great in the playoffs. And I kind of see what he was saying, just because like Ty Jerome's whole game is just like awkward, like herky jerky. Oh, like I'm this way. Oh, but now my body, I shift my weight and I'm over here, easy floater, right? When teams have that scouting report, and when players decide not to sit on your pump fakes, your head fakes, your shoulder fakes, it's just a lot harder to score. It is his like second playoff series, first if we're even counting the fucking Miami Heat. So like I'm gonna give him a pass, but I will say I think he's losing a lot of money right now.
Uh, yeah. I mean, you guys covered it for the most part. Neesmith didn't miss in the fourth quarter, and Tyrese Halliburton had 11. And yeah, the Cavs shot 5 of 18. Like, what do you really expect? They were all gassed. Max Strus had a cool dunk. That was nice. But outside of that, yeah, it was it like they're kind of playing that prevent game, right? Same in like so you use the soccer, you talk about soccer, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing. When a shitty team suddenly finds himself up like 1-0 in soccer, they're essentially going to play a super defensive game the whole time. And a lot of the times, especially in basketball, it works against you. Warriors
Yeah.
doing something similar as well tonight, got away with it. But yeah, that's what they
They
were
hit because they
doing.
hit momentum shots. The key's hitting
Yeah.
momentum shots, which like GP2,
It's so hard to do.
huge
Yeah.
corner three today, right? That a 9 point lead and 12 versus a 12 point lead.
Yeah.
Cav just couldn't make those timely shots. And
Mhm.
like you said, this great soccer reference because like watching a team park the bus is like the most infuriating thing because as a fan, even through the TV, you can feel that they're about to break through. Like
Yeah, exactly. Because like one slip up and you're kind of fucked, right?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
yeah, yeah, go ahead, Si.
I was just gonna say, like, I thought Strus when he hit that three, I thought that was the momentum
Me too. It
shot,
was up to like 8 or
right?
something, right?
They
With
were up
like
seven with a
less than a
minute and
minute.
6 seconds to go. But again, this is a crazy stat, right? Since 1997 to 98, teams are 3 and 1,640 when trailing by 7 plus in the final minute of the fourth quarter or OT. That's an ins I mean, obviously the 7 plus or whatever makes it like a huge sample size, but this is a ridiculous comeback, and they've done it twice this postseason. Once against Milwaukee in the closeout game, and then this game. Obviously, kind of like crazy circumstances, right? They get that steal
Oh,
off Mitchell, and
yeah.
then leads to the Siakam open fast break layup, and then after that, Strus turns it over on the inbounds, gives it right to Nemhard, and then leads to the Halliburton free throws, which makes the first, misses the
So
second,
lucky in
gets his
this.
own rebound, step back three for the win. Like those are insane circumstances. But that's how you win these games. Like obviously, this is March Madness shit, and they've managed to do it and replicate that twice, which is ridiculous in one postseason.
Absolutely. And they had some bad turnovers like throughout that fourth quarter, the Cavs, like back-to-back turnovers, it felt like. And
Yeah.
the offense for the Pacers just seemed so much looser in that fourth. So yeah, it's tough, but I still think, come on, like you guys are, if you guys get healthy, if DeAndre, like not DeAndre Hunter, but if Garland and Mobley are able to come back for game three, you get one, and then I don't
but
know.
even if they're back, like I just don't know how healthy they'll be. You know,
Yeah.
like at this point, like you got to win two in a row in Indiana. Like shit, even if the Cavs were healthy, I still don't know if they could do that. I'd feel a lot better about it, but I still don't know about it. So now I'm getting a 60% Mobley and a who knows 95% Garland because I mean it's his toe, so you
It's
would
not
think.
even 100% Mitchell too. Like you've seen him with the
Yeah.
calf injury, like,
Yeah.
and Allen's going through some stuff. Like they're really getting out physical. Obviously Matherin's been injuring some guys. Like they Indiana's doing some damage to this team. I saw a stat. I think Bill Simmons was saying this. Like over the past 50 games of the regular season, I think the Pacers were what, like 36 and 14, and the Cavs were, or sorry, the Cavs were 36 and 14, the Pacers were 35 and 15 or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which like they had pretty similar records down the stretch of the season. Cavs obviously had a couple like losing streaks that kind of, added to that, but they the Pacers have been an impressive team, regular season and postseason. Like this is not a team to take lightly. Obviously, the Cavs have had a much more impressive regular season. But I think I agree with what you're saying though. Like, having your guys. I just think like even if they're not at 100%. the fact that you're not going this deep into the depth chart where you're activating guys like Javonte Green and Craig Porter Jr., like getting rid of those minutes and being able to, have Garland passable minutes, Mobley passable minutes, I think that's just gonna be huge. And then just have some pressure off of Mitchell, like just so for someone to create some offense for them. I think that's enough. And especially the 3-point differential just favored Indiana in that first game. So I think if they just like keep a similar offensive game to what they've been able to do the regular season, I think they can take back these two games at Indiana, but it'll be tough for sure.
Gotta win one.
Yeah.
Win game three. Should we go to Denver OKC?
Yeah, one quick thing. I fucking hate Benedict Mathurin. He just pisses me off. Every time he plays my fucking team, like the last like 2, 3, I don't know how long he's been in the league, 2, 3 years, he fucking pisses me off, bro. I hate his
I
face.
think we should do some predictions though for the overall series, right? We haven't done that yet.
Yeah. I think the Cavs have a chance, but with that being said, I'll take the Pacers in six.
Yeah, I think
Go for
sorry,
it.
I think I'm gonna believe in the Cavs. I really
Oh
think
wow.
I don't know, maybe it's kind of like a thing where I just don't I want to believe the regular season means something. Like we're seeing, OKC lost, Boston lost, the three best teams, the, best net ratings, best records, all lost a game. Hopefully it doesn't mean they're all losing the series. I don't think Boston's losing this series. But like I believe in the regular season sample size. I think the Cavs are going to get healthy and I'm going to go Cavs in seven.
I'm also I'm not losing belief. I'm not doing it. I think the Cavs can still win in seven. Um, you just got to win game three, one game at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
I'm
right,
just the only
basket.
reason I'm not even going with the Cavs. Like obviously Cavs are the better team. Healthy Cavs is the better team, but we're not getting the healthy Cavs. That's the problem, right? So that's why they've already got like Pacers winning two in Cleveland is so big, man. Like that and the Cavs are not healthy. Like again, if the Cavs were healthy, then I could totally see them easily, not easily, but like that would be way more
I
high
could
on
see
the
this
league.
going like that Clips Mavs series that one year, where like
That would
every
be
road team
Oh,
won
Mavs
and
won the
then
first two games, huh? Yeah.
yeah, Mavs won the first two games. We thought Clips were on the ropes, and then eventually Clips win at
Dude,
home.
Mavs had a crazy choke though. They should have won that series. They were up like I remember some crazy like first quarter. They were up like 21-3 or something
Yeah,
stupid in the first quarter, I remember, and they blew it. And then
that
Kawhi.
don't mean anything anymore in today's NBA,
That
unfortunately.
is true. That is
very
true.
true, very true.
Okay, let's move on, Sai. Go for it.
Yep.
Yeah, OKC Denver game one happened. Very similar to this Cavs Indiana game. OKC managed to, take a lead. Jokic was really getting whatever he wanted. Jamal Murray started off hot, but really tapered down. And the OKC was like creating some consistent offense throughout the game. you know, J-Dub really wasn't able to get much in the second half. He was really disappointing. But I thought Shea in the first quarter was sensational. Following that, he was, able to string along some offensive possessions, keep us in the game. I thought Alex Caruso was phenomenal. Hit five threes, five steals, two blocks. Like this is like one of the best role players we've ever seen, I think, in my opinion. Chet was pretty decent. Ihart was there was enough supporting pieces who were making plays, but then at the end of the fourth quarter, what Denver does, they're able to bring back. They Michael Porter Jr. was having a rough game. Russell Westbrook inserted in, has a great game, 18 points, making really impactful plays, cuts, hitting some fadeaway jumpers like he used to back in OKC. But it was all Jokic at the end of the day, drawing fouls, really putting our big men in foul trouble, which caused us to, have to be basically only being able to only put one at a time, which really like limited our defense, I thought, especially against him. And then, every time like there were some mistakes at the end for sure, right? Alex Caruso fouling, getting Jokic back in the game with 11 seconds left. That really cost us the game, in my opinion. I don't think Mark Dagnall coached a good game there. He used up our challenge earlier in the game on a clear foul, which even Shea admitted to, like told him not to challenge that call. Like I think that like the margin was very little in this game. But I was really impressed with Denver. I thought, obviously you have the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, and he really proved that 42, 20, and 6. Like that's insane stuff from second place MVP. But at the end, Aaron Gordon made the play, and we messed up with our, managing our clock. So that really cost us in the end. But game one, I was in shambles after the game. After, thinking about it for a bit, I think the series is not over at all. I think I gave the Thunder a little too much credit. I put them in five originally, just in my own head. I thought it would be five close games. Still possible. I
Mhm.
could see like the Thunder stringing out four straight wins, but it's gonna need like a lot more effort and focus from like we can't look like a young team. And I felt like at the end of the game we unraveled like a young team, and that can't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I for my prediction, I had Thunder in 5 or 6. I guess I could solidify it with 6. I think it's unlikely you guys win 4 in a row at this point, but I think you can easily win 4 of the next 5 games. Um, like it was, dude, like 95 times out of 100 the Thunder win that game. Like even though you're a young team, I don't care. Like they're still an elite team, and Jokic hit a tough three to cut it to a one point game and like with like 40 seconds left. That shit is not going in every single time. He had 18 in the fourth quarter. That was insane. And again, like Russell Westbrook played 30 minutes today. Michael Porter Jr. had a garbage game. But you see Jalen Williams' stat line. He went 6 of 20 from the field. Again, that is hopefully not going to happen again. I thought Denver's defense was actually surprisingly good. Like
Hmm.
both of your defenses look quite good in that game. Aaron Gordon obviously came up huge, not just with the three, just his overall game was like he was their second best player by a decent margin, considering Jamal Murray was struggling. And yeah, I still think the Thunder look like the better team. You guys just seem to be getting to your offense better. Obviously, Caruso had a really, really good game. First player to ever have like what 20 points, 5 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks, 5 threes, whatever. But I think the Thunder are just a better team. They're a deeper team. The Nuggets barely went 8 deep. They played Julian Strawther 5 minutes. Okay, so they
Yeah.
really have 7 guys. Jokic played 42 minutes tonight. Joel played 44. Over the course of a series, he's gonna get fatigued. We saw that exact same thing happen in the Clippers series too. So I'm pretty confident in the Thunder winning the series in 6 games. I think that ending was bullshit. I would still foul up three. Just don't foul that quickly, I guess.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean they fouled. The problem wasn't fouling up three. They fouled way too quickly, and they
18
fouled
seconds.
70 feet from the basket instead of letting them take up court. Like that was what was insane to me. And
Just that Jokic is so good, they got scared. Like that's literally why
but the
they
thing is, if you're scared, Jokic is so good, keep
yeah,
him
to
off
leave
the
him off.
court.
So dumb.
And also, like, I do like the idea of fouling up three. I think it's like, statistically a good idea most
Yeah.
of the time.
Oh, boring,
It's
boring.
such a good
I agree
idea.
with
It's
that, but also
so
we're the best
likely you
defense in
win.
the league. Trust us to make a stop at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, that's facts.
They also went too early with the fouls. Like
Way too
Yeah,
early. Yeah.
way too
you
early.
gotta let some
We
time
used
on
up
it.
both our like both of our timeouts too. Like just getting the ball in. Like we didn't have to use it the second time. If you know like you're not gonna have it after that. It was dumb. I mean,
I,
obviously Chet missed the free throws. If that doesn't happen, it's OT
oh,
instead.
geez.
But
Is
or
it
Actually, we
maybe
don't
not
even know
even
that. No,
that, because
no.
we
They
would have had
wouldn't
a
even
set defense if you made the
exactly.
second one,
Yeah,
right?
they've done
Like
the ball.
who knows,
And then maybe you fouled them again. You don't even let them go to the three.
is it just me or does Chet take too long on his free throws, man? Like I feel like he holds it
He
there
was
for
nervous as fuck. He was
I
so
think
nervous.
he was definitely
He
nervous.
was so
does
nervous.
he
Like that
Todd,
was
does
the
he
youth
always do
there.
that? Does he always do that?
I mean, yeah, he does a little, but I just felt like, especially on that last, like those last two, he took longer than usual, just
Yeah,
like
I was like,
trying to
you
not psych himself out. Like he was definitely feeling the nerves.
Yeah,
Just
start
fair,
the
second
game.
playoff,
Yeah,
his fourth playoff series ever. Like
for sure.
it is what it is, but
I,
we
I
gotta.
still like the Thunder in the series. I said in 6 before. I still think they're gonna win in 6. Um, I thought that Denver. I know they won, but I think they looked really bad in the Jokic minutes, and I think OKC has looked pretty good. Looked pretty good in the non SGA minutes. Denver was a -12.
The problem is we looked bad with the Shea minutes. He was minus 16,
And then, but that's the thing that you can bank on not really happening again because they're not going to go
right.
to the series and Shea the Thunder have just been ass with Shea on the floor. Like that's just not going to
Yeah.
happen.
They're
So
putting so much attention on him. Like every single, like basically four out of the five players are guarding him in this series. And same with Jokic on the other end. You're putting so much attention on both of these guys. And obviously Jokic is just more equipped to handle that pressure. So that's what worries me at the end of the day. He's just so dominant that it's going to be harder. I felt like one mistake we did make though is like we put Chet on Jokic too much and we switched the little guys onto him a little too much. Um, and I felt like we didn't stop the entry passes as much as like this is a team that's, creates havoc, creates turnovers, and I felt like we didn't do it as well as we could have for the initiation. Other like once Jokic had the ball in the paint, we were able to create some turnovers off of him, but I felt like the problem was there. It's a tough series. I don't know. I feel disappointed because it's not like the last game of the regular season when we lost that game to the Nuggets. I mean, J-Dub got hurt, and then the Nuggets shot like 55% from three. Like there was a shooting outlier. The Nuggets shot 31% from three. They only shot 32 threes. Like it wasn't an outlier game at all in that sense. So that's what worries me. Like I'm just like wondering what the avenues are for OKC to play better and how much worse can the Nuggets get.
Well, I think Denver's strengths are getting to the line. I think they
Hmm.
did that a good amount. I think they shot like over 30 free throws or something like that.
Yep.
And they also dominated the glass. OKC can doesn't turn the ball over and they get out in transition, right? I think they gotta do more of that. I think they can use Chet. I don't really love the way they use him on offense sometimes. I feel like he's like he has more KD than we think,
You can put them on the floor.
off
Yeah.
some off ball screens, like use him as a hub more than a a play finisher. Um, I think that as long as they don't get killed on the keep getting killed on the glass, which Denver will win the game on the glass, even though OKC runs this double big lineup, Jokic is still it's just tough to keep off the glass. But I think as long as they keep not turning the ball over, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think Chet just in general, I feel like we expected a jump from him these playoffs offensively. Even this season, I think as a whole, he might have been a little more aggressive. But this game, like only 11 shot attempts is not going to cut it against Jokic, especially when J-Dub is struggling the way he did. So I
This
mean,
is kind
what
of
do you think? Yeah.
a little bit off topic, but in games like this where they are really shading over to Shea and everything is just like he got up 26 shots, but there were a lot of shots in there. I'm just imagining, like another like generational half
Yeah.
court
Yeah.
scorer like Katie or Giannis on this team and who they could easily go get. And I'm just like, like they'd be unguardable. They'd be like literally because then you can't shade over Shea because then you're gonna swing and it's in KD's hands. Um, but again, that's off topic. We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how the series go, it could happen next year, you know. That's the thing. Yeah, I do want to talk a little bit about J-Dub. Like, it didn't feel like he put up 20 shots, but when you're looking at the like box score at the end of the game, he just like every shot, yeah, it didn't feel like a 5 for 20 game. Like as bad as it looked at the end of the game, I thought he had some bad moments, definitely but I thought in the fourth quarter he stepped it up, like was able to get it close. But then when the Nuggets were making the run, I felt like he just kept rushing his shots, trying to like he did a lot of what Ant did in that Timberwolves Warriors game, like where you just get to the rim and kind of just chucking anything
Blindly
up.
driving. Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like I think Dub focusing more on his mid-range jumper and which has serviced him well in the playoffs so far. Like I think that was I think he was great defensively. So I think
He was really good. Yeah.
as bad as his defense or game might have looked like, just looking at back score, I thought he was better than the box source just said. Like I thought he had a pretty decent game.
Yeah. Isaiah Joe also went 0-4 from the
He
field,
was
12 from
awful.
three.
Yeah.
So again, these are not all gonna happen again. Yeah. I think J-Dub, I think the problem is he does tend to struggle with length. I feel like that same thing happened last year in the Timberwolves series, right? Where or not Timberwolves series, sorry, the Mavs series.
Yeah.
Where like against Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, like two of the better, like no, the two of the longer. I wouldn't say Michael Porter Jr. is a great on-ball defender. He's not bad, but Aaron Gordon is like the real struggle, right? So every time he would drive, like he'd be met at the rim essentially. And I even thought Russell Westbrook did a pretty good job when switched on to Shea. I thought he did
He
like,
was
was
on Shea or J-Dub. J-Dub was I think 0 for 3 against Russ.
really. I don't even know. Wow, I didn't know that either. So yeah, kudos to Russ. He had another good game.
Yeah. I don't think I said my prediction. I also think OKC in six, but um we got to win game two. Just
Yeah,
like
duh.
the
Yeah.
Cavs Pacers, you can't give up two at home. It's tough.
Yeah. There's no, I think it's gonna blow them out game two. I feel like this happens a lot where when the home team loses game one, they tend to blow like team out. Like that's what I expect to happen to the Warriors too. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. Okay. So final series, of course, is Knicks Celtics, and the Knicks surprisingly took game one yesterday, winning 108 to 105 in overtime to steal the first game in Madison Square, not Madison Square Garden, in TD Garden. And special props to OG Anunoby. He had some huge threes, especially when the game was kind of getting out of hand. I think the biggest Celtics lead was 20 in the third quarter. They came out pretty hot out of halftime. But OG kind of weathered the storm. I think he had two or three like huge threes that quarter, while Tatum was also going off. So yeah, big game from him, as well as Jalen Brunson obviously hit the two threes to essentially seal the deal late in the game. I think they went up like 96-91 in the fourth, or not steal the game, but take a huge lead on the Celtics late in the game. Josh Hart also 11 rebounds and five of them being offensive rebound, doing what he does. So yeah, big game from them. I'm sure you guys want to talk about the Celtics choking, so I'll leave those stats to you. But yeah, whoever wants to go ahead.
Yeah, I have some in the second half in OT. Jason Tatum was 3 for 13 with three turnovers. Jalen Brown was 2 for 9 with two turnovers. This was just like the game that we've seen so many times where the Celtics just like decide that they're gonna throw the game away with like
Yeah,
just the stupidest shot selection you've ever fucking seen. They shot 7 for 20 and 7 for 23, and missing 45 threes. Like I don't know how. Like I hate watching Boston. I've said that before. Like it's such a boring brand of basketball.
yeah,
Um, I am glad to see it like not work. But when you have to actually sit there and watch it, it's like the most just like mind-numbing, gross basketball that there is.
yeah. Sai, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think a big element that they lost and was Porzingis being out, like his sickness, like that's what
Yeah.
I think they ruled him out for, like could
Game
be
two
that
as well.
unknown viral. Like that's pretty concerning
He
because you
was
lose
bad.
that.
He
He was
wasn't good
bad.
though.
I
Bad.
agree. But like the fact that you lose that mismatch hunting ability, like I feel like that's a big part of your offense. When you have Al Horford who really doesn't have any like dimensionality as a big guy with him, like he's really just a three-point shooter at this point as an offensive player. Like that's what your offense becomes. Like Tatum got to get more aggressive for sure, just going downhill. Like when you have Brunson on you and you're not attacking him like at all. Like I feel like I know mid-range shots aren't the most effective, but like at a certain point, you just got to, pull up over the 6'1" guy 10 feet closer when you don't have to be 30 feet out instead.
Or
Like
just
and
shoot a
and then
layup. Like or just make
that too, because this team does not have rim protection. Like Cat struggled. I mean, Mitchell Robinson was there at the end of the game. He probably gave some good rim protection
Backhand Mitchell, bro.
there, but that's true. They did try that for a bit, but I mean, Cat was in foul trouble. He was pretty bad this game for the most part. Um, but the wings were really what carried. And then obviously Jalen Brunson didn't have the greatest game efficiency, but when he came back into the game, like in the fourth quarter, just hit three big shots back to
Mhm.
back to back to basically give them the 3-point lead. And then obviously had to look for the floater to win the game. Didn't hit it, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. OG saves him. Mikhail, huge shot in OT. That corner three. I didn't think it was going in based off how he was shooting the whole
A
game.
garbage game, yeah.
No, did you
Yeah.
guys? I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter, but that
Yeah.
corner three he hit to put it up 106, 100. Did you guys
Yeah.
know it hit the side of the backboard?
It was a
What?
bank.
He banked it
I
in.
did
It
not
was
see
like the
that.
most perfect swish I've ever seen. And
That's
if
crazy.
you really go watch it, he hits the top left of the backboard, left corner, and he banks it. That's how you know that
Yeah.
the basketball gods are with the Knicks. Even though Jalen
Bullshit.
Brunson's
Yeah.
floater rims in and out, Mikal Bridges banks in a corner three to put basically ice the game. 106,
Yeah.
100.
And then that steal at the end of the game, like Derek White had that three to kind of give it a 3-point game, but that was great defense. Like didn't even give him a shot. Like I thought it's risky to always go for a steal at that moment because you could foul him. Like well, refs can interpret it however they want. Like okay, that could be in the shooting motion. Three free throws, it's tie game, go to get OT. But that was really gutsy and he really made a play on the ball there. But yeah, OG best player in the game. I thought really got them back in the third and fourth quarters, like with his, I thought in the fast break he was great. Obviously shooting the ball, like for some reason when I see his jumper, like I always think it's going in for the
Always
most
in.
part, right?
Right?
It
Yeah.
looks nice.
He's such a confident shooter. He's
And the
very,
the way he just
very
holds his follow
aggressive
through,
shooter.
just like
Yeah.
every time it feels like it's going in.
Yeah.
And he like the fact that Mikhail played 51 minutes, OG played 40, damn near 46 minutes, like this team does not have a lot of depth, but their wings can play a lot. Like Mikhail and OG can play the whole game and not really lose a whole lot. Like they do not. I mean, that's the tip system. They get used to it, which may be problems like injury wise, but they play the whole game, and I think that's actually serviced them for this game specifically.
Yeah, I think Porzingis has been pretty inconsistent these playoffs themselves. They say he's probable. He had like a respiratory illness, I think I read. So he's probable for game two. Like you said, I know this sounds kind of like obvious, but after the Knicks took the lead, they just looked like the far superior team to me. Like they just looked, they executed their offense so much easier, and their defense even looked just so much better than the
Yeah.
Celtics did. Like down the stretch of the fourth quarter, like I was sure they were going to win that game.
They were swarming. Like every time,
Right?
like we were saying Tatum should get in the lane, but every time Tatum did get to the rim, I felt like Josh Hart was right there. OG was right there. And they were ripping the ball away from him getting in the fast break. Obviously, that doesn't mean Jason Tatum should shoot a million threes at the top of the key and miss all of them to try to win the game. But
Yeah.
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 Also, I did want to mention Sam Hauser got hurt, and that could be pretty
Mhm.
big because this team is pretty limited otherwise. Um, assuming
Totally.
Porzingis isn't, all the way there, like this is a seven-man rotation basically. If you include
I
Luke Cornett, maybe even not that. Yeah.
He was not, he was fucking terrible. He played a whole big minutes that game. It felt like 17 minutes. Gee.
Yeah.
I will say I feel like this postseason hasn't been the strongest case for rest in the rest versus rust.
Mm.
You know, that
I
was a
mean, yeah.
worry. It's a worry I had about the Cavs for like the last month of the season of like these guys haven't been prepared to play NBA basketball like or playoff basketball. They haven't played a real game in a long time. And OKC kind of had a similar thing going. And then they both waxed the Heat and the Grizzlies and we were like, okay, that's all right. But
Yeah.
I mean, those were jokes of
I
series,
mean,
right?
same thing with the Wolves, same thing with the Celtics. Like all of these teams had
Exactly.
a major rest advantage and it didn't work out in their
It
favor.
matters. But it's weird because like is this just an anomaly or
It's
like
an anomaly, guys. You're overthinking this. Come on. Like they played their first round series. Like I don't think it's that deep. They'll be fine.
no. It's not about even though I'm saying, but even look at Boston who got a huge rest over New York and like Sai said, what'd you say? OKC or
Minnesota too, like
Minnesota, right?
yeah,
Like
five
at
days
some point,
off.
like
Minnesota's the only one though where they actually look like complete dog shit against the Warriors. And I think this was predictable. Their half court offense against the Lakers was worse than the Rockets half court offense against the Warriors.
it's crazy.
So I saw something like maybe don't quote me on that, but there was some ridiculous stat comparing their half court offense to Houston or their offense to Houston's, and it was worse. So someone said like that is why I had the Warriors winning the series. Outside of that, the Celtics and Thunder were up big. Like they look like the better team, and they just both happened to choke. I don't think that's because of a rest,
But
like they rested too much or they were rusty. Come on,
even in game one against the Heat, the Cavs, it was a close game. OKC obviously killed the Grizzlies. But like even these game ones, like the Celtics Magic series game one was pretty close too.
that
Like
happens a lot though. Not because I don't think it's because of rest. I just think it's because it's the first game. That's why good teams just adjust very, very fast to bad teams. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I think you're
I think
overthinking it a little. I do think I understand what you're saying. I 100% get it.
Yeah.
But these teams are too good to like respectfully. The Thunder to me are much better than Nuggets are. I think a healthy Cavs are much better than the Pacers are, and I know the Celtics are much better than the Knicks are.
Mhm.
So these three, like I don't, especially your two teams, like that, even the Celtics. I don't
So
think. It's
does anybody think the Knicks have a shot to win the series?
no,
No, but
no
I will
shot.
say about this rust versus rest. I think it's less about the rust itself. Like I think Minnesota had a rust issue, but then again, they shot horribly in games five. So like even who knows, maybe just continuing out there. I think it's more of an intensity issue because if you can't like New York was in tough, close games, had to put their foot on the gas the entire six games against Pistons. Same thing with Denver and Clippers, right? There was this long 7 game grueling series. Have to keep your intensity up, and they managed to, you know, uh, play amazingly in game seven because of their intensity level that the Clippers could not match. And I felt like that's why you blow these leads. So you're not able to maintain that intensity and that like concentration and focus throughout those like last quarter, whenever it matters. And I think that might be the differentiator. Like same thing with Cavs Pacers as well. Like
Especially in
Pacers
game
literally
one.
pulled off yeah.
Even game one of that series, like if you go back and watch the defensive intensity of the Cavs was just not there at all. They were slow
Right.
on rotations. It's just like stuff that you would expect that a team in the postseason was just like automatically gonna do. You're right, their intensity just wasn't at 100.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's funny the Celtics at least had to face the Magic in the first round. They were already complaining about how like tiring and physical the game was. It
Yeah.
should have taken advantage of that to prepare themselves for this series. But anything else on the Knicks? I'm just trying to think of talking points. Like, I mean, Tatum, they were hunting the switch on Brunson a lot, but I feel like they would just settle. Like Jalen Brown
Yeah.
loves those little like 8 foot jumpers near the free throw line. Like you can take him to the rim so easily. I don't know why you settle for those. Um, it's a gross box score. Jaylen Brown, 1 of 10 from three. Jason Tatum, 4 of 15. Derek White, 5 of 16. So they're a combined 10 of what is this? Like 31 from, or not, 41 from three. Those three
Yeah.
guys. They attempted 41 threes together. And they're 10 of, that's crazy.
The thing is, in the first half, Jalen Brown was actually doing a good job against Brunson scoring the ball. He was
Hmm.
pretty good, and Jason Tatum was killing Cat too. But they just kept in the second half, shots don't go, and that's Celtics ball. It's like at one point they're gonna go, at some point they're not. They're betting that most of the time the shots are gonna go, so we're gonna win the game. It wasn't falling, and even on the 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 Knicks depth, it's just like if Cat gets hurt or Cat gets in foul trouble, and then you have to play Mitchell Robinson, like who's good, but I don't know if he can stay on the floor. He can't shoot free throws either.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
he was 3 for 10 on the line.
Those
Yeah,
free throws look like shit too. They're so flat. They're like the ugliest free throws I've ever seen in my life.
It's crazy because I see that dude in like the gym on, and he's like
Yeah, shooting
switching threes
threes.
from like half court, and he can't make a free throw. It's nuts. I would say like I agree. I thought their shot selection was really poor, like especially like not just Jason Tatum's like settling and Jalen Brown, because at the end of the day, you know they can make these shots in better, like in better games. Like they'll just have better games. I thought Drew Holiday had some terrible corner threes that they would just
Oh my
rush.
God.
There was
Oh,
like some
you're so right.
really bad shots there. I think off offensive rebounds, every time they'll just like first pass chucks up the ball. Like I feel like they're not even trying to create like offense or slow the game down. They're just like, we need to get a shot up. And I don't understand the rushing, like why they rush into some of these shots. Especially, I mean, just because they're moderate. I feel like they get like like how they differentiate like openness by like wide open, open, and like like I feel like it's as soon as the Celtics like feel like it's like 4 to 6 feet is the nearest defender, they're like that's green light to shoot. And it's like statistically sure, but like it's not the most comfortable shot, and you're definitely rushing it a lot of these points.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell Tatum, man. You're not like Tatum is not a great three-point shooter. He shoots 34% from three this year. Since his rookie year, I don't think he shot 40% from three. Maybe one more year he shot 40%. Yeah, he shot 40% from three 2 times in his career. In the last 3 years, on average, shoots about 36% from three. So there's no reason that 15 of your 23 shot attempts should be fucking threes, especially with over half of them being step back contested threes. It doesn't make sense. Okay, it's just lazy basketball.
half of them are
So even
side
Jaylen Brown,
steps
I
too.
mean,
He's taking side
yeah,
steps. He's doing all bunch of crazy
he's
shit.
aura farming, bro. That's
His
literally what.
best
I don't
his
know.
best trait is playmaking. Like he's a big playmaking forward. Get to
Yeah,
the
that's why drive and kick worked so well for him in the Mavs series last year, dude. I don't know why they're not going to that more. That's the way they win these games. Oh, yeah.
So you guys don't see any avenue for the Knicks. I'm not saying Knicks win the series, but maybe even like make it seven, or do you still think it's like
Nah.
Celtics in 5 or 6
I
still?
think Celtics in like six, maybe. I think this makes it maybe Celtics in six. Maybe that game is close because it's in Madison Square Garden, but the Celtics are so much better when they're like good. Like I hope they're not going 10 of 41 from three, those three again. At least like Derek White. I know Derek White will eventually step up. Not that he's been amazing this year, but I'm sure he'll step up. Drew Holiday, I thought he was really good until he started taking those dumbass threes. Like that, I
Yeah,
think we're talking about the same corner three. It was off. They got a second possession. I think they missed the first shot, might have got an offense rebound. I did not expect him to just turn around and shoot that ball. It didn't make sense.
right.
He runs the three-point line and just turns around. It's not even an open shot. I don't get it. It's so annoying to see them. It's like, oh, it's like in an open gym, you just see guys like purposely go like walking back after an offense rebound, shooting a three. It's so stupid. It's the NBA and they're still doing this bullshit.
it's because psychologically you're like you feel like you've earned it because you've bought an extra possession.
Yeah.
So like you're
Yeah.
like, you know what, I can shoot this. And if I make it, there's even more, I'm gonna get even more praise, right? So it's funny how sometimes in basketball, these like basic human psychologies like still like come to fruition in front of our eyes.
Also, they were just down three. That's another like very like it's just
Yeah.
psychologically you want to tie the game. I remember distinctly that shot, I think, was after Jalen Brunson hit the three to go up 91 to 88. Like it was something big, like their first big lead, like 3-point lead. So they needed to counter with a three. And I think they got really desperate because the Celtics are rarely in that position where late game they're down. And
Yeah.
they the same problem as last year. Like they're just
Yeah.
lucky they're just so much better than other teams that they're able to win the first three quarters. Because in clutch situations, they weren't the best team.
What pains me so much about this Cavs stuff is that, man, the Celtics don't look that good right now.
They
Like
don't know.
Jalen
Yeah.
looks hobbled. who knows what's going on with Porzingis? Like, man, there's a year to beat them, and this year, if it's fucking Indiana who
If
beats them,
Tatum, dude, if Porzingis isn't there, the Celtics are not unbeatable at all.
no,
Like that's a huge
No.
hole in their team.
Yeah.
I saw a crazy not it wasn't like a crazy stat. I'm trying to find it, but it was about like the amount of players that have missed playoff games against the Pacers, and it's like in the past
Oh,
seasons, and it's like Damian Lillard missed five, Giannis missed six, then you have like all these Cavs guys, and it's you kind of look at it, it's like wow, like they have gotten the right side of injury luck for sure.
true, but that
Definitely.
Pacers Celtics series, dude, like the Pacers should have like they totally could have gotten 7 games
Oh,
in that series,
I got
bro.
it. I got it.
I feel so
For sure.
Julius Randle missed seven. Porzingis missed four. Garland missed two. Bojan Bogdanovic, who I'm not, who cares about it? Bojan Bogdanovic, he missed seven. So it's just like, are they
I
really?
don't think that list was as good as you thought it would end up
Yeah,
being.
yeah. Maybe the Damian the Lillard Giannis stuff caught my eye first, but
Sure,
um,
yeah.
I'd
It's
be
also just like the East is weak,
yeah.
and they didn't have to play Jokic on the other side. Like
Yeah.
I think that was like that's the truth.
The South, you talking about the Celtics?
Yeah, last year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they dominated. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like just thinking about it, like you both of my team won, but Steph is out for how God knows how long. Both of your teams lost. Like the only guy just chilling right now is Jokic because Celtics look like shit. The Cavs just lost. Pacers, like I'm sure that I would take the Nuggets over the Pacers in a series. I don't know about you guys, but I
If
probably
we
would.
get Pacers Nuggets finals,
That would be
bro,
insane. That would be crazy.
insane.
Jokic is gonna be dying, bro. Oh my God, he's gonna have a heart attack in that series. Um, like who else is even? I can't think of another like. Yeah, I don't know. Like Nuggets might like as of now, I feel like the Nuggets might actually be like the t like a top maybe like a top two contender just because of the I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah,
think yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, if they were playing Warriors in the first Western Conference Finals, I feel like Nuggets wouldn't. They could
Yeah,
win that pretty. They could definitely win that.
I feel like the Warriors match up pretty well with
Hey,
the.
don't say easily, Si. I don't think that would be
I
easy
didn't say
at
no,
all.
definitely not easily. My bad, but
I don't think
yeah.
that would be easy at all. I think Steph's gonna put Jokic in fucking
It's still crazy, dude. How are they this good? They fired their coach with 3 games left in the regular season. I still don't get.
and their
That's
GM. They
insane.
fired both of
And
them.
their GM. I mean, yeah,
They
And
basically
Michael
they
that's
Porter
basically
Jr. is
said
out.
yeah
Huh?
they basically said we don't believe in any of this, but and then it was like I bet.
Just figure it out,
nuts.
Jokic. Yeah.
Should we go over
Um,
boards real quick?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did want to mention, I guess like the last stat is this is the first time in NBA history where all 4 road teams won game one in the
Shout out to the
semifinals.
underdogs, guys. Shout out to the underdogs.
Insane, insane. So this playoffs are definitely, I mean, all of these games were fantastic, other than maybe the Timberwolves Warriors, but
Yeah.
legitimately like 5 bangers, and you couldn't have asked for a better start to the second round.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Well, yeah, those are the first few games of the second round. Excited to see what's going to come up from there. Um, Out of those four series, did we all pick the favorites to still come out despite them all losing? Or I think me and Sile had the Warriors and Sai, you had the Wolves, but I think everyone else had the favorites coming out, right? Or no, I had the Pacers, sorry. I had the Pacers
Yeah.
over the Cavs. Okay, so it's pretty split actually. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think the playoffs have been awesome so far, especially that one night. And even I guess sorry, Sahil, but even tonight with the Pacers Cavs game, that was a really good
Yeah.
ending at least.
Yeah,
But
last night was an
yesterday was
insane
like
game of
peak,
basketball. That is
peak
peak.
basketball, bro. That
Yeah.
was awesome. Especially that second game. I feel like the second game was definitely closer than the first. Like the first one, like I don't know, I'm sure people stop watching when it was like 72 to 52. And the Knicks had no sign of life. But
I
yeah,
feel like a lot. I feel like it was a perfect storm too, because I feel like a lot of team or fans like hate watch the Celtics,
hell yeah.
and they
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
watch the Thunder for a lot. I don't know. Maybe this just because I'm a fan. I see a
It's the
lot of the
Lakers
hate, but
fans who
as
hate watch everyone, bro. They
that's
literally hate
true.
watch everyone.
That is true.
Yeah, like that's it. I'm seeing Lakers fans in my like LeBron fans in my timeline shamelessly like putting that hybrid logo of the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Like, can you imagine doing that shit after your team just gets like whooped? Like, I hate whatever team beats us. I can't imagine rooting for like anyone. I would just want everyone to just collapse on the court and die. Honestly, like on both teams. You know, I wouldn't want a winner. I seriously. But But yeah, NBA playoffs have been great so far. I think I saw a number that or a thing saying that the Warriors Rockets game seven had the most views for a first round game seven since like 2009 or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Jalen Green. Yeah,
Yeah, so I guess before we end off, we wanted to go over the teams that did lose their game sevens. Clippers, after a 30-point loss, basically managed to keep it close in the end with the Nuggets, but all-time collapse. First franchise continues to disappoint, my bad. And then the Rockets try to keep it close, but their offense just really, you know, was as bad as it gets against the Warriors and managed to lose game seven. Like, what do you guys see for the future of the Clippers?
you can go first, huh?
They're in such a bad spot. I kind of think you got to just ride this out again. It's I think it's kind of crazy to say, but the reality is Kawhi played like 30 games this season. I think and he wasn't the problem by any means, but I think kind of retool. I don't know their exact contract or salary cap situation, but I don't think there's any major moves to be made. Um,
Mm-mm.
Retool, running back with Kawhi and Harden, and hope he can make some noise. Because look, they could so easily be in the second round. And I think I would might have picked them against, a lot of the other teams in the West, honestly, right now.
Oh yeah.
Or not right now, but in that were in the initial standings. So I think you can still get it done. You can find yourself in the second round with a fighter shot at the conference finals. So again, it's like hard to trust James Harden like ever, like for anything like ever. But you kind of just have to.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have no choice but to run it back. James Harden is the only relevant player. Actually, him and Nicholas Batum both have player options for the next year. I'm assuming they'll both accept them for 36 million and about 5 million respectively. So I'm assuming they'll take them. Everyone else is locked in. Amir Coffey has an expiring. He has not been good this year. He was good last year for him, and I feel like the year before, but this year he was not good. I don't even think he got big minutes, like relevant minutes at all. But see, the Clippers, I think they look like the better team against the Nuggets through 6 games. I think they should have won game one of that series as
Yeah.
well. And I'm sure you guys will agree with me on this. Next year, let's say they have the same team and they're equally good. I could see them winning whatever team makes it to the conference finals. I can see the Clippers beating that team in the first round, but I can't see them beating that team in the conference finals simply because of the wear and tear on Harden and Kawhi, right? Even if the first seed makes it, even if if they play the first seed in the first round, I can comfortably say they will take them at least 6 games, and that first seed likely will make the conference finals. But if they do somehow make it to the conference finals, no matter who they face, I would probably not take them. Again, just because Harden is a fucking choker. Okay. And Kawhi doesn't seem to be able to put together like a string of four really, really good games anymore. He
Yeah.
seems like you kind of forget he's on the court a lot of these games. After that game two, we saw these crazy comparisons to like KD, and like Jordan all the
We
time.
made them. We made them.
We did. I still take KD over him, and I'm glad I said it then. Like, you've had some shitty takes about KD, bro. You said you take Ant over him last year. I remember that. I will never
I
forget.
think right now I would still take
I
him over
sounded
and over him.
crazy on the pod. Everyone was like, "No, dude, Ant's so much better." Bro. I even asked Silent. He said the same thing. I remember he said Ant too. He's like, "Dude, I value offense and defense," which I get it, but like, it was like a 4 game sample size. That's
How
why.
about right now or
It was
even right
last
now?
year. I asked you guys that like when Ant was at the peak of his game. So like last year after he swept the Suns, I was like, I still feel like it's a premature take to have Ant over KE. And like, I think Ant has such a good team around him and like defense. I don't whatever. This is
Well, I
not.
think right now he's definitely a better player.
Is he?
I
I
think
don't know.
so. Well, not definitely, but I think
KD
he's
was
better.
so good this year, and like Ant has not been that great in the playoffs.
No, but I would still at Katie's age I would still take Ant every day.
I feel
Yeah.
like KD is the better like I think he's the better like foundational defensive player for a team. And I think he's a better scorer too. Like I don't like Ant's maybe a better playmaker, but I don't
Oh, that's where I would say Katie's a better playmaker.
then what is Ant like I'm trying to find things to give to Ant.
It's really offense. Like it's way harder to scheme around Ant than it is for KD. I really think that's the difference
I
because
also just I also
yeah,
just value like rim pressure and downhill scoring at this point in
That's
yeah,
Katie's
big. Yeah.
career.
KD
yeah.
has none of
He's
those.
not putting pressure on the rim, so
Yeah, yeah. Whatever. We're digressing. But like prime KD Kawhi, I remember it was a big debate, and it is a debate. It's a very valid debate to
Yeah.
have. Kawhi at this point can't do it. Like he can't put together a 2019 run. So it's hard to see like the Clippers really making noise past the second round, if that next year. But they don't really have a choice. So Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, Harden has that player option. If he declines it, maybe the Clippers extend him for longer, and then you're even stuck with this core for even more time, and they're getting even older and more injury prone. So it's like, what do you do at this point? You've gone all in with this team. The Intuit Dome needs some good players inside of it. It's a pretty great stadium. So I think you go for it, go for mediocrity, and they're a really good team, like legitimately.
Yeah.
They're a cursed franchise, so you never really believe them, and they just have a player who's never, for his entire career, is always disappointed in the biggest moments. So it's kind of disappointing. Like I don't think I agree with what you're saying, right? Like they have the tools to beat any team in the West, but at the same time, you just do not you trust any other team to make the Western Conference Finals than them. Like
Yeah.
that's the vibe I get.
Yeah. And then you guys want to quickly touch on the Rockets. I mean,
Yeah.
as a Warriors fan, like that team has a bright future ahead. I do think they need to move off of Jalen Green. I don't think he's like the future of that team. I mean, Thompson is the future of that
I
team.
think he's the Josh Giddey of that team from last year. Like
Oh, Jalen
legitimately,
Green
that's
is?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
maybe he's
he's
gonna go
taking so
thrive.
many possessions away from Amen. He's not doing anything at the rim. He's
He's
not
not a
shooting
winning
well.
player. He just not.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like he's Alonzo Trier, respectfully. But yeah, I
I
think
I would if I could, well, I think the question is just used to make a trade, which I think they should,
Mhm.
because they need some scoring bunch. And if you, but I think you can get they have the picks, but if you can't get a Giannis or KD, I think a kind of underrated move that they can make. I think they could trade if they could try to trade Jalen Green for Jordan Poole. I feel like
oh my God, that'd be sick.
I
That's the
feel
most
like
lateral move of all time. What are you
No, come
talking
on.
about?
Jordan Poole is better than Jalen Green. I
okay,
will not hear that.
Jordan
Jordan
Poole
Poole is better.
Jordan Poole is better than Jalen Green, no
Come
doubt.
on.
Also, like he's an actual like scoring bunch. Like he scored in big games in playoff games before, and I
I
trust him
mean,
with
we are forgetting that the Rockets' leading scorer is still Jalen Green. Like
Jordan Poole
he's
could be that in the
I don't think
playoffs
so.
too.
I don't think so.
but in a playoff series, you need more of Şengün in a slower half court game, and you just need some shooting and like
Well, I
Yeah.
don't go with Zach LaVine. Like even Zach LaVine, I feel like could be like a
Yeah.
decent the guy to
I
go out
think I think
a
KD is
contract.
gonna is the move though. I feel
Yeah,
like there's a
100%.
lot of mutual interest
yeah.
and they have the assets for it.
Bro, if KD wins a championship with that team, he would have joined a two seed and won the championship. Like another fake ring. Like I don't know what to tell you. But no, yeah, I think I'm in Thompson, Jabari. I think Jabari needs to play more. Like he played
Yeah.
really well that series. He's scared every time he shot the ball. He didn't even he had a one made three or one made shot in game seven, but that shot was huge. That was the biggest shot of the game. Put them down three. That
And
killed me inside.
that three, he had just missed a three before.
On Looney,
Somehow
yes.
finds his own offensive rebound and says, "Fucking, I'm shooting it again."
I
It
was
was,
so pissed. And it was an even deeper three. Like the first one he missed was on the corner. He shot over Looney. He did the same thing again from like even like 3 feet behind beyond the arc. And it was
I was so mad at Ime Udoka for not playing for
he didn't
playing.
play him enough. Yeah, facts. I
Jalen
mean,
he played like 23 minutes a game or something like that. Jalen Green's
yeah.
29, 30.
Şengün's good too. Like
Yeah, he's
he
good.
obviously can't be your best player, but he's very good. And then Tari Eason, of course. Like yeah, their main guys. Even Dylan Brooks is whatever. Like he's fine. He's
Like I think the only thing they have to figure out right now is they have a team option on Van Vliet, and it's like, do you pick him back up or do you kind of try to restructure his contract?
bro, Reed Shepherd, bro. Like get him some fucking.
Yeah,
What are they waiting for? I feel like Ahmed and Reed Shepherd's just sexy fit together.
yeah, for real. That's why you draft him. Like it's just a
Yeah.
perfect fit
I
there.
don't think you can accept $45 million on Fred
Yeah.
VanVleet.
No
Only
way.
No,
yeah,
that's
Not after
crazy.
like I mean he was like actually I can't even say not after that performance. He had a fucking great playoffs for a few games in a
He
row.
brought him back. Yeah, I mean he was bad in the game seven, but
Yeah.
as well as you could ask for.
Yeah, he snapped out of it a bit.
Ahmed is the future though. Like that's no like let's not get shit twisted. He's disgusting. Like
He's the
I've never
Yeah.
truth.
seen an athlete move like
Would
that.
you trade him for Giannis? That's a question I'm
Mm.
interested in.
Uh,
Would this team win without like
I wouldn't trade him for
would that
Giannis.
defeat the purpose of like
A little bit, a little bit.
Well,
right?
would it? Because like you have Giannis on Amen on the same court if they were playing together anyways. That's a weird fit.
I still think it works if you have
Yeah,
like
probably.
dancing around them. I
But
feel
and
like it works.
Şengün and like
Ahmed
assuming you
and
also keep
Giannis is
Şengün
scary, dude. Like Ahmed, imagine
for
Ahmed
sure. Imagine
and
that in transition, dude. That's like
yeah,
terrifying.
like even like, and defensively, if you have Amen, Tari, and Giannis on the same court is fucking scary too.
Yeah.
And then you have like Reed Shepherd as your point guard if he becomes like an elite shooter, and
Also, Ahmed and Giannis can kind of hide Şengün's like
defensive.
deficiencies.
Yeah. And
Defensively.
Shanklin's not even that bad. Like he's not a terrible rim protector,
All
but
right.
yeah,
No, he's pretty, yeah, pretty
yeah.
good. But gotten developed definitely his defensive play.
Steven Adams is a big talking point. I feel like you have to mention him. Like he was the
Yeah.
best player on the court at least one game this year, which is so
Yeah.
weird to think. Like the most impactful player on the court, I think. In like
Definitely.
He's gonna be a free agent, so we'll see who
Warrior, yeah.
Warriors, Lakers will
Warrior.
talk to him. The thing is,
Back
like
to the Thunder.
the
You
problem with
guys you
that.
have enough, dude. Just relax.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The problem with the Steven Adams thing is that like you just know one of these teams like I could so see the Lakers picking him up, playing him 30 minutes a night in the regular season, and then he's just not as good because he's just played 30 minutes a night versus like, I don't know what he's playing, but I would guess it's not more than 20 in the
Yeah.
regular
He
season.
didn't look as good in game seven because he played like 32 minutes or something. Like
Exactly.
he was a
Yeah.
-7, I think, that game. And I think it's also like because the Warriors are so small and they don't have
Yeah.
a ton of rim pressure that he looks really good. And obviously no rebounding. He looks like really good against them. Versus once he joins the Warriors or he joins the Lakers and they already lack spacing, he will basically be played off the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever. But off the bench, like I wouldn't mind him. I mean, he's better than Trace Jackson Davis is, right? So
Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah. Okay. Well, we can wrap it up here. Excited for the games tomorrow. Celtics at Knicks, and then Nuggets at Thunder. So yeah, we'll see you guys there. Thanks so much for listening to the Change of Pace podcast. If you have any inquiries, you could email us at changeofpace pod@gmail.com, as well as on Instagram and Spotify, Change of Pace. But other than that, have a great day and thanks for listening.